No,
Lorenzo?
I'm Nessie.
Oh,
And
okay.
we're back with the BlameGirl podcast with,
Mr. Terry Wayne in shorts,
and we got Phatchopz back in the house.
Hello,
What's up,
world.
Phatchopz?
all the fattest of chops.
And we are
I'm Nessie.
and we're back with the BlameGirl
Oh my
podcast
God,
with,
again. Mr. Terry Wayne in shorts.
and we,
Work for
Bragging
her.
about her production.
I know. This is work for her.
I hate them.
Meanwhile, not even a microphone.
No, you don't need a microphone. We have modern technology.
Like, what's that?
We're loud ass bitches.
Yelling in an apartment with no furniture in it.
That's
We're
right.
loud ass bitches. We're not usually this far away from the camera anyway, so
Yeah, it'll
Um,
be fine.
we don't have to do it like everybody else does their podcast. This works for us. So welcome back.
It's all about the substance, right?
Phatchopz,
Gio?
how was your weekend?
Microphones are optional. My weekend,
Mhm.
Gio, was fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Drugs.
What kind? What was so fantastic about it?
Nothing, just spending time with the family. Easter dinner, I had to prep for cooking for 12 for Easter. So.
You know, that's the
Very
bitch about it, because both of us are cooks. We both worked as professional cooks before. And when people know you can cook, they expect you to cook all the time. And now, I don't know about you, is it a burden on you? Because I love it. It's like a meditation for me.
No, it's anytime the family, you leave it up to your family to take all the fun out of the things that you love.
Right.
Yeah, I used to love cooking, but doing it under pressure for a lot of people in a short amount of time. Family, they have the right to like complain and shit. It's annoying.
That's true, but I still love it. I can't help myself.
What did you cook
Prime rib, actually. Yeah, we went with beef.
for the Easter holiday? Huh?
Yeah, on the day of the sweet Lord's ascension. No, it's not the ascension, right? It was the comeback. It's when he rises from the dead.
Yeah, the Lord is risen.
On the day of the rising of the Lord, I roasted beef.
That's right.
What'd you do this weekend?
That's correct.
I didn't really, I did this. I worked my ass off on Friday night, me and the wife, since nobody was available to help, it was just us moving the house into the pod. And it's not, I knew it was gonna be fine. I knew it was gonna be like that because our building says you have to move out on a weekday. They don't allow move-ins or move-outs on weekends. So I kind of knew we were gonna be on our own.
Yeah.
But yeah, 14 hours it took us from 10 in the morning to midnight to.
And that was Friday.
That was Friday, and then Saturday I recuperated and we did a little going away thing at Swampgrass Willie's, which was nice.
Shout out Swampgrass.
Yes, shout out to the Swampgrass. And then Sunday I just basically recuperated. And today it's just about cleaning up the last little bit, getting things out of
Is
here.
this all going in a car or U-Haul with y'all?
What does he mean? No, most of this stuff is getting picked up by others who want it.
Okay. Okay.
Even our guest Phatchopz here is taking some of my cooking stuff for
Yeah,
himself.
you were telling me that.
Yep,
That's the only reason I'm here, guys.
yep. No, it helps me out. It helps me out because it takes another thing that I don't have to worry about, Even the cleaning lady for the building that cleans like the elevators and
She's gonna grab some.
she already did. She took a lot of stuff. She
Yeah.
was so happy. Yeah. It's like a 50-year-old Mexican woman. She was taking all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like, she was so happy. She's like, are you sure I can do? I'm like, you have no idea how much you're helping me right now.
I
It's like
want to take some
Christmas.
stuff.
Yeah.
I have nowhere to put anything. Like I have nowhere. My
This-
my
the-
place is tight.
The couch we're sitting on is going to someone for free.
I'm just glad it's here now, so we don't have to sit on the floor and do this. So
That's
this is
true.
great. So yes, guys, my weekend was great.
Nope. You're
That's-
no.
Friday, I got to go to
Straight
a
to the
feature
topic.
set in Fort Myers, and I had a lot of fun. It was at this place called Blitz. Sorry, North Fort Myers, because they all were like, "It's North Fort Myers."
Nature set?
Hmm?
What? Where'd you go? To a what?
North Fort Myers.
To a nature?
No, Blitz is what it was called.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Where'd you
I thought
get?
she said she went to the nature parks.
See, men don't listen to women.
It's true.
For good reason.
I mean, this story.
That's why I'm loud. All right, but yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I went there back Friday. Terry was packing and
Yeah, while I
packing
was,
the pod.
yeah, while I was over here, literally about to have a stroke, I think.
Yeah, but you probably shouldn't have done that, because last time Mindy moved, she ended up in the hospital a few months later, so I hope you.
Well, no, I'm
uh,
just tougher than Mindy, I guess.
It's like, I feel like the economy is just crippling us, like, I remember when I could afford movers. And I feel like I can't anymore, or you just.
Comedy's an expensive hobby.
I was born, I mean, like, I was just raised with a starvation mentality, like, we didn't have, like, movers, what is that? How much? A few $1,000s? No, get the fuck out of here, I'll do it, you know what I mean? So I was very much raised with that kind of attitude, so the idea of movers to me, I mean, even at my age, it still just makes
Maybe
me
I'm
spin
lying.
all.
I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, no, I've never really. It's always been my friends.
It's always one of those things you bother your friends for.
Yeah, or
Try to
family
pay
in my
sandwiches
case.
to feed.
My brother-in-law and my sister, I've helped them move every time. They help me move every time. Normally family, but they're already in Nashville, so they couldn't help. And my dad just, now he's got Parkinson's. He can't help nobody with nothing. So
I'm sorry I couldn't be here to help you.
it's all
But
right.
yeah, Saturday we got to spend time with Terry. His last hurrah at Swamp Grass. That was a lot of fun. And then Sunday I didn't do anything. I just did chores.
Like, yeah, probably.
So
Chores on Sunday.
Just pointing at myself.
always, I always gotta do show prep on Sunday.
This?
The donuts, yeah.
And then I gotta do.
Can I get one of those?
I did a little laundry. All right,
I
so
respect the guy.
are y'all ready to do
Stop.
some blaming, guys?
Oh, God.
I don't have any respect for this house anymore. I'm leaving. That's why it's empty. We're doing this in my empty
Do
home.
you do one of those things where you have to get it in cleaning order so you can get some kind of deposit back?
No,
It's like
I didn't actually put a deposit on this place when I got it, because he said, no matter how long or little you stay, I'm gonna remodel after you're gone, so I didn't have to.
Oh, nice.
He's like, you can't mess me up.
Nice.
He didn't know I was gonna be here for 8 years, but. But
Alright.
yeah, we out now.
All right, guys, so this week, social media, they pointed out that Target and Walmart, they tend to lock up products, beauty products.
Oh, they didn't point it out. I pointed it out to you because I knew you'd have a fit.
Yeah.
The truth comes out.
I don't know if you pointed it out to me or not,
I
but.
showed it to you on Saturday at the Swamp Grass Willing.
Oh,
It's where we got the
When
story
you were
from.
doing show prep.
Yeah.
Blackout.
That's Sunday. Okay, but no. Social media brought it to your attention, bitch, so don't even try to correct me. Anyway, let me
It's just-
social media pointed out this week that Target and Terry pointed out to me directly, that Target and Walmart, they tend to lock up products for minorities, beauty products. Who's to blame, guys? Why are stores? doing
If
that?
black people will just stop stealing,
Yeah.
then we'll stop locking it up. I think that's.
Are you work for Target?
He spoke on behalf.
No,
of
I'm not.
two major
He
corporations.
said-
No, I'm not.
Even
I'm not.
white people. That's why.
I'm not. Now, there are, like, the reason I brought the story to your attention was because Candace Owens, who is a black female Republican, talking head. She came to their defense by saying, look, these stores, whatever they see in their loss preventions being taken the most, they take more security. So is it actually a thing that's being stolen more than the makeup for lighter complexions?
But
Or is it?
Do you think it's that
targeted?
they should, even if that were the case, I'm not saying it is, but even if that were.
Well, that's the question.
Should you lock up the optics?
The optics of it is terrible, but
I'm not even so sure. I mean, it's a company that needs to make a certain amount of dollar, right? So if the accusation is that we hate them because they're a big giant company, so they deserve to get stolen from, I don't agree with that. If they're having a problem protecting their bottom line and it's more profitable for them to buy security to keep people from stealing it, the people stealing it are the problem.
Put it on all the products.
Maybe some of them are just worth less value. What's the accusation that if they're locking up products that only black people steal, then they're probably doing them a favor, no?
They're locking up products
Less crime.
they're locking up products that are like.
Thank God it's
By shade, like it's like, oh, this is the brown shade, so we're gonna lock these up.
I don't think that anybody sat down and twisted their mustache and say, oh, we'll lock up the black products. I don't think they did
They're
that.
protecting themselves.
I
against
think
thievery.
that, and this might be one of the only times that I ever agree with Candace Buchan Owens. But if I've owned businesses before, and if one particular product is getting stolen, and I see a pattern to it, then yeah, I'm probably gonna take extra steps to protect that product. And that goes for me in my
But you're
small
not gonna
business. But
possibly
also,
like, I can't just lock up black people products.
if that's the one
It
being
doesn't
stolen,
matter, it's whichever one's being stolen.
right?
I wouldn't notice that it's a black person product or not.
Now, I will
just
say
noticed that it's
this.
being stolen
But you
from my
think this
store.
is just a loss prevention issue and it's just black people still more and are more criminal?
But I also
Well, I
think,
didn't say that. That's
no, but I also think that it's first of all, it's not just horrible. First of all, it's not just black. There's plenty of Latinos that have darker complexions that use that kind of makeup too. So that's first of all. Second of all, I do have a little bit of experience
And Mexicans.
because
God damn.
because I'm just saying, but also when my sister and I were teenagers, I remember her stealing makeup on a couple of occasions. So do I think that anybody sat down, twisted their mustache and hatched a plot to make black people feel bad? No. Do I think the optics are terrible? Obviously, obviously they're terrible.
But the optics are always terrible when you're gonna offend anybody, and you're a business that makes billions of dollars a year, and now you're protecting what seems like a petty thing.
Yeah.
That for somebody who's broke, they deserve to steal it. But at the end of the day, we can't argue the social implication that stealing is the right way to handle it is just, that's a slippery slope.
It
'Cause
just
if you
feels
were a
like to
small
me-
business owner who sold nothing.
This is just another,
hair weave
someone else following
and
you in the
drugs.
store while you're shopping,
Well,
expecting you to fucking steal because you're black. And
I don't think it was that.
I'm quite frankly like tired of this shit.
I think it was more reactionary.
Any poor people to steal.
Well,
To me, it has
Then
nothing
why
to do
not
with-
lock up the white products?
Well,
Like
Gio,
you just said.
and I'm gonna tell you right now why. Because the lighter complexions for makeup, that's what we were discussing.
So in the same aisle.
Well, they're locked.
No, literally right next to each other, they have the locked up, there's pictures of it online.
I'm talking for being very funny.
Yeah,
And
the
then
darker complexions are all locked up and the lighter ones are just open,
black
ready to go.
hair care products locked. Why are hair care products not locked?
Well, and I'll tell you why,
They still the white hair products.
well, I'll tell you why
Maybe not, but
are you done? Cause I said, I'll tell you why like 4
well,
times.
you were cutting me off. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't, but
Sure.
You were raising your voice in a very womanly tone.
exactly,
Fuck
You're
off.
scolding.
exactly. You're an uppity woman.
Why do this?
I'll tell you why they don't do it for all the products. They're only gonna do it for the products that are being stolen consistently.
That's right. The race
Because
is
it-
an after.
Well, because it costs them money to buy and put those tags on
You
there.
think I don't know?
Well, I'm saying, well,
You
listen,
explaining to me.
I'm not, but here's what I'm saying.
Well, you did ask
I'm
for it.
saying,
Explain to them.
well, I'm trying to, if you'll stop.
Then look, don't look
I'm
at me.
sorry that the middle of my sentence interrupted the front of yours. But
Well, your hands are infuriating. too.
thank you.
I
All right, I'll put it
understand.
down. I'm going
I
full
understand.
Trump. I'm going full Trump here. But
Just wait
no,
till I
but-
get something later.
the thing where I think they really fucked up is, are they between the money that costs to secure the products with extra security and the money they were losing, despite the fact that all the loss prevention just gets written off on their taxes every year anyway. So they're not like they're losing
So there was
crazy
a
amounts of
better
money.
choice than locking
I-
black products.
I'm
Whatever the cost is for the company to lock up those black people products, as you call them. I'm sure I could use those products in my hair. That's neither here nor there. The money that they're spending to protect those products probably isn't effective to use on these other products because they're not being stolen at the same rate.
Yeah, but
So in other words,
black
they're
is-
just protecting.
now
something
you have
That's what I
to,
just
now
said.
you have to deal with this.
Yes,
So this is, this
I
could
get
be
it.
more costly to do. than
Exactly.
We
anything.
need
And
the
that's-
public image.
That's the point I was trying to make, between writing off their losses that get stolen and the money that they spend to give it extra security. The optics are not worth whatever they're saving.
Yeah.
They're just
exactly.
not worth it. It's just a stupid business decision.
Yeah.
If you want to have extra security, then just hire an extra security guard or have the people in those booths watching the cameras actually do their job, because a lot of times they don't. I've worked in security in those places, and most of them don't give a shit.
Right, what's
Yeah.
their job exactly? You know, now you want the security guard, is his job to physically stop a person
Yeah,
from stealing? Cause I see a lot of videos of them get drop kicked on the way out the door. While the guy, I'm not sure that $12 or $13 an hour job is worth, you know.
don't take the job. There's plenty
Yeah.
of guys, there's plenty of
You
guys
say
out
hire
there.
tougher guys.
Yeah, there's plenty of alpha males out there that are more than happy to step to somebody
I
who's
think they
stealing.
can get more than $12 an hour at Target, they can go be a bouncer.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's
Target
15.
just needs to really and Walmart needs to really reconsider their,
Yeah, it's just a bad look, bad business.
that business decision. It just, and it as a sister, it just hurts me because it's like, I said, just a new way to follow.
Especially Walmart, because if black people start coming there, you're done.
I'm sorry.
You're done.
I'm sorry, the end of my sentence cut off the beginning of yours. You
Oh.
just did it to me, motherfucker.
Good, we do it all the time.
It shouldn't bother you though, because you don't steal.
Mm.
Why do you feel bad if it's stopping?
What if those are products I wanna get to? You know what I'm saying?
You gotta sit and
Oh,
wait
yeah,
for the clerk to come.
yeah, you're gonna have to, I know, so you're saying it's kind of humiliating to have to wait for people to come open your section of the,
Saying it's humiliating, but
it's
it's
just that extra step is annoying.
it's
It is annoying.
it's no, it's just
No doubt.
it's humiliating as a black person that this is what Target and Walmart thinks that they need to do to protect their products. So,
I mean, it is annoying because they lock up the razors.
Right.
Have you ever seen that? Like you go into Walgreens or CVS, they lock up the
It's
razors.
expensive things that fit in your pocket.
Well, no, yeah, exactly. They lock up the shit that gets stolen the most. So they lock up men's razors, and it is annoying.
Which are fucking expensive.
But here's the thing about it. They end up suffering for that annoyance because you know what? I don't buy razors from Walmart or CVS or Walgreens anymore.
Right,
I buy them online now
Right, yeah.
because they don't lock them.
exactly.
So, you know, that's the only, one of the best things about capitalism is it always finds out in the end.
Yeah.
Capitalism will always find out in the end. The consumer will always make the choice that they want to make.
Yep.
And
And
if you,
trying to just sell those
really,
products.
honestly, with those products that they sell at Target and Walmart, I feel like, yeah, we can get those online. And then sisters are really stepping outside the box and buying new products that are made by other sisters and
Yeah,
things like
If
that.
you don't
that
like
are-
the corporation's rules, don't buy from,
Yeah,
and either way,
I've stopped.
don't steal from.
I think maybe we just stumbled on the answer.
Really?
The people who are gonna buy it are gonna buy it on Amazon.
Yeah.
And the people
But
who aren't
that's
gonna
not
buy it are
the
gonna steal it from Walmart. And
That's
then
not the
Walmart's gonna
answer.
put locks on them.
That's not the answer because you got the sector of crowd that is shopping with government assistance and they can't be on Amazon with that.
Yeah,
So
sure,
there's some
and
people
yeah,
that
you're right.
don't.
You can't buy makeup with
socio-
government assistance anyway.
The
They
socioeconomic
can also
problems.
make a little money, Terry.
Who?
People on government assistance.
I'm just saying you can't buy makeup.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they would buy that with their food stamps or WIC. I'm just saying that they
What?
Well, I thought that is what you were saying.
No, I'm saying they had no choice but to shop at places like Walmart to save money. And if they're there and you're getting makeup or hair products, which we all use, you
Well,
know,
good. Every Republican now will say, you know what? Why don't you use the money you're spending on makeup to buy your food and stop using government funds for that? So now you're putting bullets in the enemy gun.
but you know what they don't say is they don't tell Walmart the same thing. Because that's how they subsidize their employees.
The fact of the matter is, none of us should feel bad for Walmart or Target.
I don't like
They
feel
make billions
bad
of dollars every year.
You know what I mean? That's not quite the thing. It's that people try to emulate that business model.
Mhm.
What motivation do they have to open a mom and pop store of any kind if there's no protection really against thieves? How can they even compete on any level?
Well, they
You just-
can't. They can't
You don't
compete.
want
period.
you don't want shit getting stolen out of the thing you own either.
Yeah, well,
So it's a
go.
behavior.
That's
and a
a
socioeconomic issue that's kind of deeper. You almost have to empathize with these people's social pressures that are leading them to feel like stealing is their own.
well, go open a general store, see how long you last. That's not gonna, they don't have any opportunities, period. Forget about stealing. That's like the least thing you have to worry. You have to worry about
That's a
Walmart and
mental
Target.
issue
That's what
here.
you have to worry about. Walmart and Target stealing from you, you know? And guess what? That self-checkout, I'll admit it. I don't care. Anytime I have to go through the self-checkout, I steal one thing.
Do you?
And always.
On
every-
principle.
On principle, yes, and it's always something small. It's
And they
chapstick.
locking up.
It's, well, no,
black
no,
folks. You
no.
hear that?
Okay, well,
It's just for
the
fun.
sentences.
Well,
No,
you-
I'm gonna explain it. It's not, no, it's not white.
You just-
It's,
And they locking up products. for
why
me.
don't you listen? You're gonna look like a fool. You're gonna look like a
Not
fool
even
in a second.
Okay.
You're gonna look like a
It's
fool.
okay for you to do it. Go ahead.
This is
Tell
why you
them.
shouldn't interrupt me, because you're gonna look like a
This is
fool.
why
I do it on general. I do it on general. No, don't call him over here, he's allergic. I do it on general principle because these companies,
I love battery.
these companies make billions of dollars. And yet they're always trying to find ways to save money. And that way, with the self-checkout, you're telling some poor cashier, get out because we got a robot to do it and we're gonna make our customers do it. Well, guess what? I don't work for free. You used to pay somebody to do this and you're not gonna have me do it for free. So it's always something small. It's something like chapstick or a soda or something like that. Something's $2.
Something you can tell.
Because that's,
forgot
no,
about.
wait, listen, I'm not done. Wait, I'm not done. That's the price of my work. I don't work for free. And if you want me checking out my own shit, I'm taking something because I don't work
So
for
it's
free.
not stealing when,
That's a rational.
and they lock up my.
It's not a rationalization.
Outrageous
It's the,
proportion.
it is the only reason I do it. You used to pay somebody to do this.
Can I get you?
No, I wasn't finished.
You were there. You
No,
were there.
no.
I
They
do
lock
like
up,
it when you guys yell at each other.
they lock up my guy. You better be quiet too and listen.
And
They
they
lock
would
up
lock me up if I got caught, but it's not a white privilege. It's an intelligent privilege because I don't get caught because I'm smart.
privilege. 'cause
It's
they ain't
idiots that
locked up
get caught.
that you stealing.
They can't lock up
I
everything.
guess white people are smarter, Gio. Now,
No, I didn't. I said I'm smarter.
than black people.
Well, I'm just smarter than most people. I'm sorry. I didn't,
I'm giving them that
You
Kanye.
didn't ask to be born with that big brain.
I
You
didn't.
just.
I don't want it.
You know who else has a big brain?
Yeah.
Gavin of Texas.
Oh, that was smooth.
She loves her trend.
Greg Abbott, he is thinking about pardoning a guy that was just convicted. His name is Daniel Perry. He was just convicted of murder in Austin after he shot a protester. And what happened was, if you don't know the story about Danny Perry, is that he posted online that he goes, I might go kill somebody today, run over a protester or some shit like that. And then he goes and he runs into the crowd with his car, and then they approach him. Some guy had an AK-47. God knows how he fucking got that. And
They're
then,
legal. You can have those.
and then
I have two.
Danny Perry shoots him dead, and he got convicted of murder. And now Greg Abbott said he should have never been convicted of murder. We have to stand your ground in Texas. Who's to blame? Why is he pardoning this murderer?
Now, before I take a position on this, what is Greg Abbott's position on Target's new security? Things that.
I think it's just like both of y'all and then black people still. So
Yeah, yeah. That's what it is.
Bro, can I get, first of all, that transit, there was trains in Ohio that had smoother transitions. than
Yeah.
The ones.
I couldn't figure
Just trying to get
Yeah.
a joke
I
in.
know, I know.
That was distastefully funny.
Yeah,
Can we get another beer?
yeah, sure.
Abbott sucks. For a ton of reasons. This is just another fucking one of them, man. There's really no way to defend them for this. This is clearly to me, this is where the right wing dog whistles
Mhm.
to their base.
Yep.
Their most radical, weird base. There's not a fucking single legal precedent in the world that says he can override a jury's decision. If you're supporting this,
Well,
guy,
that's what a pardon is, you know.
oh, understood.
Yeah,
But
as long as it's a state
jury
jury.
decided.
I know.
And now you're gonna, and how often are
Not just a jury, a Texas jury,
how
a
often are,
Texas jury convicted him.
yeah, and it can't be that this is some, there's no precedent for a murder that's happened this recently to a pardon. There can't be, I mean, I know I'm just spitting out facts here like a.
Yeah, you're not.
I have no idea, you know, what the precedent really is there, but it seems like, I know governors can stay executions, they can pardon criminals,
Mhm.
but have they ever pardoned a person who committed a racially charged murder less than what, 3 years ago?
No,
When was the running the car through the person? How long has this guy been in jail?
oh yeah, probably.
It was about 3 years ago, right? It just happened recently. So he's basically saying that because of the climate of protesting and Black Lives Matter and all that bullshit, that this guy had a right to hurt protesters, that it's not even really a murder, and that he can override what this jury said and give this guy another shot at a free life. It's
Well,
infuriating.
well, Kyle Rittenhouse did the exact same thing, you know?
Yeah,
and
and
we
they
let
say
him
it's made it legal to be able to do that here in Florida.
Well, and that I was just about to
But
get
with
to
the
that.
Rittenhouse thing, the judge, you know what I mean? He never got past the judge or the jury. It was kind of like dismissed and forgiven.
Yeah.
That judge was a clear MAGA freak. I mean, there couldn't have been a worse, more of a joke of a trial.
Yeah.
But at least he never was found guilty and then forgiven by somebody else. He was just found not guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just won his case. It's hard to argue with the law, even though I feel it's ridiculous
Right.
and you feel it's ridiculous.
Well,
this is our system, right?
well,
Like I hate that Rittenhouse is free, but he's fucking free.
Right,
We gotta
but-
support our system.
But I like that she's attacking Greg Abbott as if we don't have the same thing here with DeSantis. Now anybody can just walk around with a gun, no training, no license, no nothing.
Yeah.
And this was, I was thinking about that.
Well, and
this
you're
week.
allowed to hurt protesters.
Well,
here, too.
I was just, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was,
Made it okay.
and now anybody can just walk around with no license for concealed carry. You can just conceal a weapon on you at all times.
That's passed. It passed.
Yeah, but remember, you still have you have to have a license in this state to cut hair professionally. But you don't have to have a license to carry around a Glock with you.
Well, because cutting hair is not in the Constitution.
Now, what happens if you cut hair with a gun? See what I'm saying? Just hold out, pow, like
You better
that.
have a license for those scissors.
You better have a license for them scissors, but that Glock is fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I'm happy I'm leaving this dumbass
I think
state.
I'm with Phatchopz on this. I think it's definitely has some tie to them being BLM protesters, because if they were
Yeah.
insurrectionists, oh, for God's sakes, you better not kill them.
Or as they call them, J6 protesters.
Yeah,
They love to
yeah,
try
it's a
to
real protest.
make everything, they're always looking for a whataboutism that rationalizes their behavior based on some actions of whatever a left-wing person did, and the divide continues to grow. Almost in the same way, not to switch topic, but the mass shooting that they finally care about.
Mhm.
Now they care about it. Why? Because it was a trans person who finally did the shooting.
Yeah.
They can't stop being disingenuous and hypocritical. Because, oh, 4,800 shooters in the last like 20 years. I wish that was an exaggeration. That really is a Google, right, motherfucker now. 4,800 mass shooters. 2 have been trans. Those are the only 2 that are right.
Yeah, we need to look out for trans people. that-
Well, I mean, you don't even have to go through all that. There's been, because I've been fighting online all this week about this, about gun control, and people act like we've never had an assault weapons ban. We had an assault weapons ban all throughout the 80s and 90s when I was growing up.
Makes
You-
sense. kind of sense.
You couldn't own,
Who came up with it?
I don't know.
Whites. He meant whites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Thank you.
I don't know. You're just inflammatory for no reason. Yeah, no, I know. So,
During the Reagan era, am I right?
I believe so,
Yes.
Ban, and why was that?
Clinton, maybe.
It was because the Black Panthers were brandishing weapons.
No, that was California that did that. I know what you're talking about, but that was just California. But no, we had a
Federal, yeah, I
a
think
federal
it's-
assault weapons ban. You couldn't own an AK, you couldn't own an AR-15, you couldn't own any of these assault weapons. They were meant for the
They
military
might have been.
and the police. No, it wasn't
You
Clinton.
sure?
Yeah, it was all through the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
Look,
But-
look.
But the point is,
Producer.
we haven't gotten to the point yet, guys. We're still on the premise. Let me get to the punchline. The point is, since we have lifted the assault weapons ban that we used to have, mass shootings have increased by 72%. It's not a fucking
Yeah.
hard problem. It's not a hard solution.
No,
We know what it is. We just don't want to do it.
It-
Just admit
Yeah.
to yourself that you love your guns more than you love your kids.
It was 1994 and it was under Bill Clinton.
Yeah. which was kind of this,
Okay, sorry.
which was kind of decided, I believe, in the Sandy Hook shooting, as far as your point about we've decided guns mean more to us. And maybe we're just gonna have to compromise. Maybe let them, because they're willing to let kids die anyway. So let them hire a security guard, arm him up,
They
and
did.
let's see what he's made of.
Yeah.
They already had it.
Bro, if the Uvalde
Uvalde had
if the specially trained cops
Mhm.
who were better trained than any security guard ever will be, wouldn't take, a confrontation with the shooter then,
Mhm.
what's gonna make them do whatever?
It's funny you mention Uvalde.
We're gonna be professionals in those situations.
Well,
And even then, they may not, your kid might still die.
And when we got our kids learning in that, they're not gonna
Well,
fucking
I
learn.
agree.
They're not gonna.
let's not
fucking
get
learn.
off this because it's funny you mention Uvalde because Uvalde had an armed officer there and the shooter shot him first.
Yeah, that's right, you're right, yeah.
He shot him
And then
first,
waited out for, he never came.
right?
back.
Because that's all it takes.
I want to get back to the actual topic at
Abbott,
hand,
right?
and that is Greg Abbott
My-
wait, let me finish.
Sure,
That is allowing this murderer to go free.
yeah,
Let me say this, let me ask y'all this, who was the actual good guy with the gun in this scenario, guys?
But I like that you said that because I heard John Stewart, his comments after the Nashville shooting.
I'm not talking
He-
about the Nashville shooting, I'm talking about Greg Abbott.
I understand,
Okay,
but wait for the thing.
no, because we keep going back to that, that's
No.
why I was like, oh, God, okay.
No. After the Nashville shooting, he had a congressman on who is very pro Second Amendment. And he confronted him on that very point. He said, we have a country of 300 million adults and we have 400 million guns. You say that more guns makes us safer. What number of guns do we have to get to before that kicks in? We have more guns than people. How much? 500 million guns? A billion? What is the number where that actually makes fucking sense? Because we have more guns than people and
So
it's making it more dangerous.
Are you saying
Abbott
that the
compares-
good guy with the gun is the guy with more guns? 'Cause
No,
that's-
I'm saying that that's a bullshit argument that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's not a
It is
good
gonna-
guy
more
with a
guns
gun.
aren't gonna help.
A
In
good
this
guy,
scenario, who was the good guy with the gun? The guy with the AK or the guy who killed the guy with the AK?
the guy who killed the guy, obviously. You know,
So you agree with Abbott letting him free then?
huh?
You agree with Abbott letting this guy free?
I believe that a person has a right to defend themselves.
Or
I
was
don't
he-
agree with him freeing this particular
So maybe
person.
the guy with the AK should have defended himself first because this guy drove into the crowd. He
Mhm.
was the first aggressor.
Yes, the guy who drove into the crowd was the bad guy.
But you just said
Yeah, I
the
don't-
guy who killed the guy was the good guy, and the guy who killed the guy was the guy who drove into the crowd.
I am so
I
confused.
didn't know there was
You
two
are,
guys with guns to shoot.
Yeah.
you are
To be honest,
messing.
but I will try to stay to the point here, as far as Greg Abbott
Just the
goes,
way you phrased
I
it.
believe this kind of behavior, for him and DeSantis both, I think they're both making a run. Now I'm doing it, why am I doing this?
I don't know. 'Cause
I believe they're both gearing up for a run for the presidency.
Sure,
And I think they're both trying to align themselves with this crazy base and see what kind of run they can make out of it. Because these people are
Yeah.
the ones that are
That's exactly.
that's
why-
exactly what it is.
I
And
thought-
trying to make a national play here. He wants
He,
national.
Right.
he been too soft,
and
and even conservatives in Texas call him grab it, they don't like his ass. So
Our-
now this is gonna make them be like, oh, maybe grab it, maybe. Okay.
well, just remember, our governor right now is worse. DeSantis is worse. Did you know that there is a law in Florida that says if you're governor and you're going to run for president, you have to resign your governorship?
Yeah.
But because Republicans control the state right now, they are changing that law specifically for DeSantis so he can run without giving up his governorship.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're.
How brave.
It's fascism,
Yes, it
it's
is.
fascism. You know what
It's
this
the
is?
law is the law unless
This
we
is why
like.
it's hard for me to transition, because I can't get in here. You know why you know what else is fascism? Where Terry's going, he's talking all this shit about Florida, but Tennessee this week, they kicked out 2 young brothers from their Congress. Who's to blame, guys?
Well, obviously they are, but that's not the problem. The problem that they expelled
Who's
them.
they? They are. The brothers or the?
No, the Republican
The
lawmakers.
legislator, the legislation.
Yeah,
that's
the Republican
voting around
lawmakers
And
in,
left the white lady.
well, don't forget, this isn't
What
white,
was the optics on this one?
this isn't white and
Looks
black.
just like Walmart.
I know you want everything to be white and black, but it's not white and black in this case, it's red.
Explain to me how
It's-
it's not white and black. that they
Well,
kicked
I'm
out
going
2
to in a second.
It's-
If you could let me have one statement.
So
without
you're gonna
interrupting.
take the opposing opinion?
No.
Before you do, I'll take the obvious one.
No,
It seems racist to me.
okay,
It does seem racist.
I'll tell you why it's racist.
Together, Black Power, we want gun legislation. She put up the Black Power fist.
yes,
She was right there with the brothers, misbehaving on the same level.
right, and
That they
that,
must be perceived.
and
I
that
guess
is,
you're gonna argue decorum? or
no,
something?
no, that, I was gonna get to. I haven't even said my fucking statement
Well,
yet,
that's
and you
my
guys are
sense.
arguing with me over, I don't know what you're arguing, because I haven't said anything yet, Jesus. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I don't think it's a white and black issue on this one. I think it's more of a red and blue issue. And the fact that they didn't expel the white Democrat with the two black Democrats for doing the exact same thing, that is where it becomes racist. Before that, it's just red and blue. But it's the fact that they didn't expel, like you said.
Well, that's all we're talking about.
Okay.
I understand the anti-gun position is a liberal position.
Yeah, and
But for
the
them to keep
pro
those
gun
two-
sycophants is,
You either fire all three of them
right, or don't fire them
or
at all.
don't fire anything. Because
Exactly.
again, the optics are absurd.
Yes,
So the two young black gentlemen.
yes.
They
with
got,
interesting haircuts.
It's so
they,
stupid.
they-
That was my point, was it's so stupid that you just didn't do it across the board with the protesters.
Okay, so guys, if you don't know who we're talking about, we're talking about the Justins, Justin Pearson, Justin Jones. They make me feel like a civil rights movement is actually coming, because not only did they get kicked out, this nigga look like MLK. Justin Pearson.
All right, enough
He
of
got
that.
the afro.
In the face?
And,
Nah,
he
you-
got the afro and he talked like with the cadence of MLK. What you mean enough with that?
You were trying,
You don't want MLK to come back?
no, I'm saying you were touting this on Saturday. You were touting this same thing on Saturday, and you were saying
He's not the new MLK.
he's the new MLK, and I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay, Terry's right. I'm listening.
Yeah, it's gotta lead at least one march.
Yeah,
He just Pearson.
he's got to pastor one church before that.
Oh my God.
He's got to cheat on at least one wife.
Does this prove that Tennessee is just full of good old boys and?
No.
It's problematic, but I'd like to believe. Well, first of all, this is.
Run by
yeah.
good old boys. Wait, let me
Yeah,
finish.
I mean, maybe, yeah, because it's
Because-
instinctual.
The way that they talk about why they kicked these brothers out, it was like, they just wouldn't behave, like.
Okay, now see, this I take exception. This,
God.
this I take
They
exception
supported
to,
a child
of
molester,
you
too,
throwing,
in that legislation.
of you
They
throwing the
supported-
state.
They-
I take exception to you throwing the whole state of Tennessee out like that, because you gotta remember
We
20,
moving there.
no, it's not even because I'm from there,
It's
it's
just a huge coincidence.
no, it's because I'm from there that I know the history of it. You gotta remember, this is a state that wanted to elect Al Gore, where Al Gore was the governor 20 years
Was he
ago.
one thing?
Yes,
Okay, that's why.
okay, it doesn't matter, but no, but 25 years ago,
The ranch that he used to vacation on.
but it doesn't matter. I'm saying he used, I didn't even hear what you said, because I'm trying to get one fucking point out without being interrupted by one of you.
But allow Terry to interrupt us, guys.
I know, I'm only doing it because you're doing it. So that's the only way to get the fucking answer out.
This podcast.
No, they did go for Gore in 2000 during that big cantankerous, cantankerous fucking election between Gore and Bush. They went, that was 20 years ago, they went for Gore. So I'm not saying it's not a red state, it's absolutely a red state, but it used to be
It had
just
moments
a,
of purple swing.
no, it used to be a
potential.
swing state only 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's not like ingrained like your fucking home state, that where it's good old boys for rep. What do you mean?
Hey, Richards, shut the fuck up.
Okay, what decade was that?
It's probably the same decade.
No, it was not. That was like the
Maybe.
70s.
Baby.
All right, whatever.
We went to the governor's mansion. Richard.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up. All right, this is why I think this is fascism, guys, because it's like, if you dissent, you're out. You can't even be elected in anymore. They have control of that now, and that is fucking fascism. We're living in a
Authoritarian state.
an authoritarian state in a
No.
fucking 1984 novel.
No, we're not.
Wake the fuck up, seriously.
No, first of all, an authoritarian state, maybe, depending on which state you actually live in this country. But I think a lot of the political contention is overblown. I think 80% of the population sits somewhere in the rational areas,
I
but 10% of the
I don't know
left.
about 80%, but
Well, I'm just
in that
saying,
area,
for example, I'm
I
saying
agree with you.
the fringes, the 10% fringes of the left and the 10% fringes of the right.
Control the
getting-
entire narrative.
Yeah, they control the narrative, and then everybody just says, oh, you're a liberal? Oh, so what are your pronouns? Where do I go? Are you gonna be offended? Are you gonna cancel me?
Yeah.
Oh, and then you're right. Oh, well, I'm sure you just want to overthrow the government and make Donald Trump your king. And it's like, most people are not like that. I have so many conservatives in my family that are not like
Do they
that.
think the insurrectionists should have gone to jail?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Real
Republicans.
Republicans do.
Yes.
But
Yes.
real Republicans do.
But I have
That's
two
really
people in my
that
family
fringe
that said seriously, that called me the day and they said, why aren't they shooting them?
Yeah. There was
So
also a lot of
they haven't
Trumpers
lost their mind.
who broke that day
They're-
too. You know, it finally was too much for them.
Yeah.
They've been supporting Trump the whole
They
time.
Yeah.
need to be
And the
louder.
insurrect- I agree.
What they,
But the media won't find them
we
anyway.
still got
You know what I mean?
DeSantis, we got Abbott, and we've got the whole fucking state of Tennessee and
They're-
all their shit.
they're
They
different.
are crazy.
They are different animals. If they got to where they wanted to be, you'd see a
Their
change.
congressmen
The-
are.
Because they're only doing it to get to the next
Their
level.
congressmen are, they didn't kick out the dude that was commenting on the young boy's thirst trap.
No, they
Remember that? We talked
Yeah.
about that 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
that was just messed up.
He's-
Yeah, that was just messed up.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Boy, wasn't that young.
No, he was 20s.
15?
He was in his 20s.
Or was he
And
20?
he was like clearly.
He was so cute. but
Pretty.
He's a twink.
He's a hooker too.
Yeah, he's a twink in the
That
game.
means 2019.
I agree with you, but I think that the Republicans, if you're thinking about their strategy, the only thing that has worked so far is the excitement of the fringe base. It seems to rally at some point the rest of the people that are kind of on the fence, and it can push them to an election.
And-
So until they lose on a national, until they lose another election, like either
They've
Trump
lost the
is-
last three.
I get it, but
Yeah.
I know, dude, but now Zoomers, Gen Z, you know, they represent 44% of the next election. 44% will be the next younger.
And that is why I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about this because even in red states,
Have to worry too.
because even in red states like
I believe they're gonna
Texas,
get smoked in any
even in red state rates, that's like Texas, yeah, like Texas, you're getting these blue dots. But those blue dots are massive amounts of people.
Right.
They are the biggest cities. They have the largest populations. You're getting in Tennessee with Nashville. You're getting it in all these red states.
All right, so
Future looks bright.
it may look bright, but under fascism, it should not look bright because they will change it. Like DeSantis in our state, he is arresting people that registered to vote. You know, stuff like that's going on. That's gonna deter people from
You're
voting.
talking about
And,
people that were ex-felons who have registered for
That
their.
after they receive something.
They thought they had an expungement and then he went and arrested them. And that's
And
probably
then-
the lead.
And
DeSantis is a monster.
he is a monster, and that's what I'm trying to get to, because this week, the Florida whistleblower, Rebecca Jones, who blew the whistle on the
I know,
COVID
yeah.
stats here in Florida. She said that they arrested her son and that she said DeSantis was behind it. And that made me feel like, oh my God, we are really living in a fascist state, because we know DeSantis to be retaliatory.
Disney.
Who's to blame, guys? And let me finish just a little bit about the story. It has since come out, the police have released saying that they have information that her son was making death threats, and there's a little confusion about that. She knew about her son making death threats and did let her son be interviewed, but that was weeks before by the local law enforcement. There was a new case opened by state law enforcement, and they say that he sent other death threats, and she says he did not do that. It's from some other Snapchat account that's not his. All right, who's to blame for this happening? Is it DeSantis? Is it Rebecca Jones? What's going on?
So Rebecca Jones, first of all, she's been caught in a couple lies. I'm not gonna get into her entire history. I support her Her COVID information was critical. She also may be mentally unstable and tells stories with a huge bias that we should try to, just to keep a clear head here. Her son is got some mental challenges and he made some threats.
It's autistic.
So what most likely happened is DeSantis is looking at her family under a fucking microscope because she's a big mouth and I'm proud to have her on our side. And DeSantis is an authoritarian and a small man with a lot of power. So he is vindictive. He was probably looking at this family under a microscope. And I would describe what happened after that as the son probably gave him something to run with. It isn't, the kid isn't a real threat. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
The poor boy shouldn't have been arrested and fucking dragged.
No.
It's humiliating, but you gave him.
Yeah.
Okay, you had to have your nose clean, your T's crossed, your I's dotted, however you want to look at it. If you're gonna go up against this man, homeschool your child.
He got
Don't
arrested.
allow him to send
He was
memes
being
to
homeschooled.
people. Well, he was sending memes to people that were problematic at the school
Yeah.
to the point where they thought it was a
That
threat. And
was
these
the
schools
first
were all.
one.
I
That was
understand.
the first one. The
That was the
second
moment
one
where you
was
gave-
the one where they're
Not
saying.
even matters. He got arrested because of who his mother is.
Yeah.
That's it.
You think so?
100%.
And his behavior is inexcusable and it's scary.
It,
But let's talk
wait,
about
I still
DeSantis.
didn't believe the second set was his, and that's what fucking
Right.
scares me even more, y'all.
Yeah, that he's
That
got
they can
agents out
fucking-
there.
That they
agents of
can just
chaos.
make it look
Sure.
like you did that
That's
shit.
right.
And I
Yeah.
believe it.
Yes,
If he even
absolutely.
did that shit.
Because
Even
that's
if
the real
it was
power.
his, he shouldn't have been arrested. Even
Yeah.
if it was his, you know how many people threaten to kill people online?
Speak up against this
I mean,
governor.
Somebody wanted that headline to
Yeah,
make
I
her
agree.
look, discredit her and make her look.
I agree with you.
Yes,
And that is a
100%.
dangerous precedent. But to talk about DeSantis on a national level again, which is where it really matters, we're in Florida. So he's gonna terrorize us for as long as he's the governor. But you're also right, we're not living in a dystopian authoritarian state yet.
No.
But he is doing little practice events to see how much power he can pull.
Well,
You
And
know,
he
they
ain't
want
polling
bloggers.
well.
to
Well, just
register
remember-
the state, right?
Yeah, just they
Just remember-
register your period, your monthly schedule so that they can tell who's really a woman and who's not.
right.
For these three.
No, they're
trained
doing that
athletes.
for the abortion thing.
Either way,
Yeah.
it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
The minute you start registering paperwork with the governor, we've lost our way.
Yeah.
And we got a guy who's overconsumed with power.
Well,
But
not,
that's all they have left.
not to
You know,
mention,
it's scary, these jokes, you know. They don't love him. The way Florida loves him can give us this
Mhm.
idea that he's loved like this on the whole country. He's polling behind Trump and Biden in every purple state,
yeah,
by the way. Way behind.
Yes,
He's
he is.
only ahead of Trump.
that's
in
absolutely
super-
true. And
he's
by the
only
way,
ahead of Trump in super red states, which again, that's the winning strategy for them. Appeal to the psychos,
mhm,
see if it'll get us 30% and see if 30 will somehow be enough. See if we can swing enough of these Wisconsin's.
no, it's not even, it's not
And
even.
go, you know,
It's not even that, it's get the wackos on your side because the wackos will come out and vote for you. And
Make a show.
normal garden variety, regular, middle ground conservatives or Republicans, they will vote for a wacko baiting lunatic
Yeah.
like Trump over any Democrat. They'll vote for Vladimir Putin before they vote
They
for
will.
a Democrat.
Yeah.
So they're
They worship a strong man.
not even that, they just worship that R. If you got that R in front of your name,
So
that's
true.
all that
Oh, I
really
hate it.
matters.
It's so
It
gross.
doesn't matter what the opponent,
It don't matter
the
if it's
opponent
stupid.
can come out. No, the opponent can come out and say, you know what, I got a new program, I'm gonna give everybody in the state $5,000 a month, nobody has to work anymore, it's gonna be a paradise. And they'll say, okay, who do the Republicans have?
Right.
Because they don't give a shit. If you've got a D in front of your name, it's so toxic.
And it helped them out so much
It's-
for that.
They will vote against they've done this over
The
and over.
voter loses.
Yeah, no, they
Because
vote
now we
against
have
their
no
own
options.
interests.
But
They will vote
that ballot-
against. They will vote against their own happiness, their children's happiness, their futures. It doesn't matter. That's how
So now
toxic
we
that D
weaponize
is.
voting.
Yes,
And essentially, we're down ballot voters now. 'Cause
Yeah.
it used to happen,
Everybody
in
is.
the refreshing old days was, if you voted
It's-
all liberal for your presidency and the vice president, all that, you usually voted for a Republican in your local elections, because you felt like that was a nice check and
That's what I
balance.
did.
So
I
So
did.
many people did.
Well,
Because
you know
if
why
you're
I did
skinny
it?
block, you would be crazy state, right? So
Right.
Or I would vote
You
for
would-
like,
so you tax
Well, actually, I did it.
independent, you know.
I did
But
it
now
for-
you're scared to, and we lose
Yeah.
by voting
Scared
down
to.
ballot.
Yeah,
It's a joke.
Well, I
We've
did it
all
for-
become so partisan.
I did it for financial reasons.
Sick for us.
I did it for financial reasons.
The
On a
race is
national
too-
election, I voted for a Democrat because I wanted them to spend, or I'm sorry, I voted for a Republican on a national election
Bush twice.
because, yes, I did
Figure
too.
that out.
I did too.
Yeah.
I voted for Bush twice as well. But those are the first two presidential elections. Yeah, those are the first two presidential elections. Yes. Yeah, I was 19 in 2000.
Who did he run against?
He ran against Gore
Right.
in the first
And
one.
the big hanging Chad.
Yeah, and then he voted, and then he ran against John Kerry in the second.
Voted as soon as I could vote.
But so did I. But
No,
the point
no,
was
you didn't.
that
That's bullshit.
the
because
point was that I was trying to
you
make.
did not vote.
The point I was trying to make was I
Exactly.
voted nationally Republican because I wanted them to conserve money. And then locally, I voted Democrat
See?
because I wanted them to spend money in my
And that
community.
feels powerful.
It
It feels
does.
like you have some
Yeah.
power as a voter.
Yeah.
They've stripped that from us
Mhm.
by making it all about this partisan horse. Now you can't trust.
It's, no, it's
I
culture.
can't vote for a fucking Republican in my local election if he's a goddamn Trumper. I can't trust any of his decision making. So now you're like, fuck it, I can't take a risk anymore. Straight down ballot.
It's all a culture, it's all a culture war bullshit. They just throw out, oh, it's a drag time story hour on one hand. And it's insurrectionist on the other, but it's not though. It's a bullshit.
I like
nonsense that they
to
pushed.
believe that. too.
All right, let's do a little bit of catching up with Phatchopz before we wrap. I always love having him on, because look, we didn't win a whole hour.
I know, but he didn't want to do he didn't want to do the interview part so much, just this part. So you got what he wanted.
But it's fun to talk politics with Phatchopz. He's
Very passionate.
yeah.
Okay.
This is the most fucking raucous Blame Girl podcast we've done in a while.
Well, I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice to get it out. I hope you guys like it.
Yes, they're just very like, they don't know a lot, or
We don't need to mention names.
and then some of them like they, sometimes they just make jokes, and that's fine. But you have an opinion. I like it.
Some of our guests have gotten very popular or very mainstream since we've had them on. And they've actually requested that we take down their episodes so that people can't go back and look at their opinions and then hurt them.
How
down.
absurd.
Oh,
And
yes,
we did do that. We
Yeah.
did pull their episodes down.
Yeah.
You could just say Danny Braff, it's fine.
No, it wasn't. No,
I haven't had on, but
We haven't
I've told you to get him
I
on.
can't-
he doesn't respond to my.
Made you take down his episode. That's unbelievable.
All right.
I'm gonna just keep guessing until he's.
No, you won't guess it. You don't know this person.
Ben, what you been up to?
It's hard to explain, really. If you're talking about why I haven't been doing comedy, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Stepped away during the pandemic to be safe, but we're well past that now, and it's more difficult now. I mean, I can give you a real answer if you're actually interested, or if the people are interested. But
What are you here for?
I think that some of my comedy before was starting to feel easy, repetitive.
Yeah.
Once you start to get to headliner, I'm not bragging, this is gross, but I'm just telling you how my career path went. I had a bit of a real good start and was ascending well, tracking well, as they say. And then once you kind of make it to headliner, you kind of switch into a almost automatic, where you're just doing the stuff that works all the time and you're not really working on new stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
a
kind of got away from the stuff I loved the most. When I started comedy, what I loved the most was working on new material, being out with young comics who some of the guys I started with have had great success. And I enjoyed the grind of it. When I started to become somewhat business successful, it's almost like they've been telling me since I'm very young that I have a self-destructive quality, that I have this thing in me that's kind of scared of success, or I will blow things up. And I did. I blew things up with the improv. I blew things up with a couple promoters and stuff. Got into confrontations with people that weren't, they were kind of reductive. And it was kind of taking the soul from it. I know I do that to myself. I'm a guy who gets into things full in, and then when they start to become problematic, I look for ways out. And I think that's what was happening with comedy. And the harder part of coming back is that I kind of want to reinvent myself. Even Phatchopz, it's bothering me, the notion of even having a nickname. Maybe I should come back, maybe I should be Jonathan. Maybe Phatchopz is still, you know, Phatchopz was very silly. It gave me like something to kind of hide behind too, you know, like if it all blew up, I could just go away and nobody would ever remember who Phatchopz was. I could just be Jonathan again. But Jonathan has a lot to say too. And Jonathan is an interesting person. And, you know, maybe I was always kind of, you know, like I protected my family a lot. You know more about some of the problems with my family than I've ever talked about on stage.
I
ever.
know, and you didn't even like, you were guarded when I would even come to you, like, if I was to come to your house, it took years knowing you to even.
I'm like, you've been to his house?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
You've been to Phatchopz?
I had to come to his house, I did his inspections, I did.
He's moving.
Yeah, I did mine.
Crazy.
Hey, I invited you to the parties. I invited you to the parties and you
I'm
never.
an incredibly reclusive person.
Yeah.
Privacy is important to me. My family is incredibly important. And one of the personal things that enough people know now, when I was touring and I was out, or when, you know, touring with the Fresh Drunk, when that was the thing, and a couple other things, and on the road on the weekends, it was very hard on my family. Very hard on my family. My wife went through a lot of personal stuff. And now kind of putting that all back together, my answer for that was the pandemic. I became like a real dad again. I was around my kids all the time. We played games, we bonded, we were in quarantine together. Pandemic was very difficult for me because every other fat comic fucking died. We lost Dexter, we lost fucking Wayne. You know, we lost a lot of good comics that were heavy set and out of shape. And it was very fucking scary for me. I think part of me probably lost my mind a little bit. And getting back out now feels like I'm gonna be away from my family again if I choose to do this for real, which I only go in.
So you can do it.
Right, you're right. That was a big moment for us too, you know. And not that everything went great for that couple months, but again, my life is very private, so it's not like I come back and go, "Here's what was fucked up when I left." Am I boring you, Terry? I'm so sorry.
No.
If that's a reflection of what the audience is going through right now. But I still feel it in my core. I miss it very much. I was talking to Matt Bellick. Shout out Matt Bellick to Hanlon. He was just on fucking Kreischer. He was on Kill Tony.
Hanging out with Kreischer.
He's you know, I miss it so much, dude. I was so excited for the guys having success, but I also miss it and wonder what would have happened if I stayed in the game like that.
Yeah.
And if I go back, could I still achieve something like that? Or do I come back and none of that matters anymore? The improv doesn't matter, success or fame or whatever doesn't matter. Just do it because I love it. And if I can find a way to do that, I think that'll be my key, you know, to coming back. So like getting on this podcast is good because I like entertaining.
I think, you know? Like if you have that mindset of like just coming back and because I love it. And then if other stuff happens, then that's just a fucking bonus, right? You know?
I think that's the
so don't put that pressure on yourself, you know.
Well, that's the thing I'm very bad at. I love to put pressure on myself because I'm almost better under pressure.
But that's the great.
So I invent a lot of problems.
That's the great thing about comedy is it's when you do stand up, it's always there. If you want to peel back for a year and go back, it's going to be there. It's going to be different people. But
this is almost kind of exciting too. You know?
But the pillars and the structures set up in the scene will always be there. Whether it be new people or people you know, it doesn't matter. The pillars and the structures that scene is built on are not going to change.
Yeah.
So it'll be there. I mean, I haven't taken comedy seriously for about 8-10 months.
Yeah.
But I know when I move up there, it'll be there. Stand up is everywhere.
Yeah.
Even Memphis, Tennessee, I went up there and did some shows. Even they have a scene. It's not a big scene. It's not a great scene, but it's a scene.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't have, Memphis doesn't even have one comedy club, but they have a comedy scene because people want to do this. So it'll always be there. You want to peel back for 2 years and then come back? Fine. I've known plenty of people. Rodney Badger comes right to mind.
Yeah. Even Eric Myers was gone for a while.
Eric Myers was gone for a while, and then he came back. Like, you can live your life and do this.
Yeah.
It's not, this isn't a marriage.
Yeah, no, my comedy life balance was very out of whack. And it's almost like I'm scared to try to find the balance again. But you're right. You have to, I have to let it go.
Right.
You know, you make a clean break or you come back in and do it just to enjoy it and the challenge of finding.
Don't stress if you can't do it one night, you know, like I know for me, because I don't have the family, the husband or anything like that. So
Why is that?
I can be out Cause,
Cause he argues too much.
I
How come nobody put a baby in your pretty ass yet, Gio?
didn't say that.
Respect.
Um,
Easy, DeSantis is listening.
Yeah, he is too, because he said that anybody that does online blogging or vlogging, he tried to make it so they had to register if they say anything about the state government.
Yeah,
That's some Gestapo shit.
gotta register your party affiliation with a college now, which is insane.
That's
In Florida. Yeah, you gotta register your party affiliation.
my
with your-
God.
You know.
Stop.
Why do you think?
Well,
they
it
wanna
doesn't
do that?
matter. Look, he can't,
It's like Republicans.
he
they
can't run for governor again. He's on his second term. It's his last term. So whether he becomes president or he doesn't, it doesn't matter. He's done with Florida.
No, I don't think so.
He can-
He could win a senatorial
Well,
race.
I was gonna say,
He
he could
wants that
try to be,
lifetime position.
he could try to be a senator, but again, you're talking more on a federal level now. The
Yeah,
governor's got the main juice in the state, and we elect Democratic governors all the time. Ask Charlie Crist. You know what I mean? Or Charlie Christ.
I think Democrat at best, but I forgot my point. Well, no, I feel like he'll find a home in the Senate. He's just
Oh,
so
probably.
likable here. He could be a god in Florida forever. I don't think he
Yeah.
is on a national level.
Yeah.
I hope
I don't
y'all
think
are
so.
ready.
Well, all the polling shows that, yeah, he, just like he said, he's polling behind Trump and Biden.
Whenever
So.
they roast DeSantis on TikTok, I have all these people that like, I'm like,
No.
people really like him.
He buries every bad story too. You ever notice that? DeSantis, even though he was in charge of like the.
I mean,
He has
the
some blackface.
torture at Guantanamo, turns out that was his thing to worry about while he was a JAG, while he was a JAG lawyer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, DeSantis is filled with hypocrisy. He's fighting Disney, as we know, with this whole thing because they went against him and criticized the
Yeah.
gay bill. He got married at fucking Disney World.
Right.
Literally, his wedding was at the
He
Grand
stands for
Floridian
nothing.
at Disney World. He stands for
Yeah.
nothing
He's
except for himself.
Worse. I don't know. I think he.
What have you done for me lately, and what can you do for me in the future?
Right.
And if the answer is nothing,
It's worth
get the
50
fuck
million,
out.
so.
yeah.
All right, Terry, Wayne, do you have words for white people this week?
No, I don't actually. This one week, I don't have words for white people.
Well, I do.
I just have,
Shocker.
I just have a statement of gratitude for,
Whites?
no. Thank God for whites. No,
Just no, thank
I
you.
have a statement of gratitude. to
They
my-
deserve it, the way he be talking to them.
I have a statement of gratitude as my last official BlameGirl podcast here in the state of Florida, to my friends, to the comedy scene for everything you guys have helped me achieve. And to all the people in South Florida who were fans, who came out to the shows, who came out to the shows that I booked.
My bad. Whatever.
And to my fellow comedians, I know that I wasn't, there are some people that hated the fact that I was in it. And there were some people that loved the fact that I was in it. And some people thought I was a dick, and some people thought I was hilarious. And I appreciate all of it, all of you on both sides, because that's how you become a well-rounded person. You listen to your critics and you thank your fans. And so I just wanted everybody to know, I listened to you when you criticized me, and I appreciated it when you were a fan. So thanks for having me the last 11 years.
Thank you, Terry Wayne.
And thank you for calling me a faggot one more time.
You can't say that.
I said.
Yes, actually, he can't say, but I can. I sucked a dick once, so
Okay,
that.
no material on the show.
Yeah, Terry.
You can get, you make new material.
Oh, relax,
Material on the channel.
relax. I was only 11.
All right.
My uncle was.
He hasn't heard that joke yet.
Oh, yeah.
No, hey, don't send your kids to Bible camp. That's what
I
happens. at
like
Bible
this
camp.
angle. I'm further away. I don't look as bad.
Yeah.
It's not Terry's fault. His uncle was that handsome.
Yeah.
All right,
Good-looking
guys.
dude.
You got anything coming up, Terry? No, I'm just.
Yeah,
kidding.
I'm getting the fuck out of Florida on Thursday morning.
All right, and we know.
Gio, you should just plug your own events.
Yeah, yeah. Catch me-
Humiliation.
Catch me at Zany's in Nashville. Lakes Drive, it's worth it.
I'm pulling it up. Tomorrow I'm at Las Olas Laughs. It is at Bo's Pub and it starts at I know it said something about 9 in the message, so.
Oh, that's good.
9 o'clock. All right, if you really wanna go, hit me up on socials, find it.
And don't forget, my novel is still available on Amazon. It's Unclaimed Ashes.